Hello students, welcome to my channel again. So today is the second day of our chapter unit and measurements. So in the first part of the video we discussed that about fundamental quantities, fundamental units, derived quantities and supplementary quantities and different types of physical quantities, right? And we have discussed about the importance of physics, that why should we learn about it and what is the important thing about this physics. So and we have learned that supplementary physical quantities, which is very important. So I want to just rewind those things that which we have discussed about that day. So we have discussed about that there are seven type of fundamental quantities, right? Scientists gave us seven type of fundamental quantities. So the first fundamental quantity is, just a minute, the first fundamental quantity is mass, right? The second fundamental quantity is length. The third fundamental quantity is time. And the fourth fundamental quantity, fourth one, you can say current. And the fifth one, is temperature. Temperature. Sixth one is number of particles. Numbers of particles. And the seventh one is luminous intensity, right? So these are the seven fundamental quantities. These are the seven fundamental quantities which is very important to derive any derived quantities, right? So we have SI unit to measure the unit of any derived quantities. So let's see what are the fundamental units of this. So the unit of mass is kg, and the unit of length is meter. The unit of time is second. Unit of current is ampere. Unit of temperature is Kelvin. Number of particles is mole. And the unit of luminous intensity is candela, right? These are the fundamental quantities. We have learned that these are the fundamental units of those fundamental quantities. So these are called fundamental quantities and these are called fundamental units. And these two, 6th and 7th, is not so much important for class 11 and 12, because there is I think 90% of use 90% we are using these five quantities. Basically 95% we are using the first three uh, quantities, that is mass, length and time. These three quantities are very important for your that means numericals. So this chapter is not so much important for the competitive exam, but it is very important for your board exam. Okay, so you have to learn very carefully. So today we are going to discuss about dimensions. So today we are going to discuss about dimensions. Now, I think you have learned about this, that there are uh, seven type of dimensions to describe the seven fundamental quantities. So before starting, we have to know that dimensions can be many types. By using dimensions, we actually describe the quantities. So as you know that for space has many type of dimension: one dimension, two dimension, three dimension. So these are called 1D, 2D, 3D, right? So 2D means two dimension, that means only length and breadth. 3D means three dimensions: length, breadth and height. So to identify a point in three dimension, so we have to know three coordinates, that means the length, the breadth and the height. This is called dimensions. So it is important for to identify the to identify a point to locate a point in the space. So to describe the physical quantities, we have to use the dimensions. So as you know that we have 7 fundamental quantities. So for this we have to know 7 fundamental dimensions. Each quantities have each dimension. So the dimension of mass we write m, the dimension of length we write as l, the dimension of time we write t, the dimension of current we write a, the dimension of temperature we write k, or someone write theta also. Some persons are write theta. And number of particles, dimension of number of particles we write as mole, mol, and it is also cd. So these are the dimension. So there are some rules to write some dimensions. So the first rule is we have to write the dimension within square brackets. Okay, let's say an example. Suppose you have to calculate the dimension of length. You have to write the dimension of length. So how do you write? You have to write, you know that the dimension of length is L. So you have to write within the square brackets. And let's see what is the actually dimension means. The dimensions of a physical quantity are the powers to which the base quantities are raised to represent that quantity. Suppose you have to calculate the dimension of velocity. You have to calculate the dimension of velocity. So this is the one of physical quantities, right? But it is not base quantity. So to know what is the expression of velocity, velocity means what? Change in displacement with time, right? So change in displacement, we can write that as the base quantity is displacement. Change in displacement means as displacement, and time means time. So the dimension of displacement is also length, so L, and the dimension of time is t. So you can write it L t to the power minus 1, or you more precisely you can write that the dimension of velocity is L1, L to the power 1, and t to the power minus 1, right? So these powers to which the base quantity, here the base quantity is L and t, the power to which the base quantities are raised to represent that quantity, is called the dimensions. Okay, so what is dimensional formula? The expression which shows how and which the base quantities represent the dimensions of physical quantity is called dimensional formula. So as you know that the dimension of velocity is L t to the power minus 1, right? So we should write like this way. We should write mass, length, and time dimension. All the physical quantities should be written as mass, length, and time dimension. Although that in this case mass, there is no mass, so we have to write like this: mass to the power 0, L to the power 1, and t to the power minus 1, because there is no term which is related with mass, right? So we have to write within square brackets. So this term is called dimensional formula. Let's see what is a dimensional equation. Okay, so an equation obtained by equating the physical quantities with its dimensional formula is called dimensional equation. So what is dimensional equation? An equation which is obtained by the equating physical quantities with its dimensional formula is called dimensional equation. Suppose you have to calculate the velocity, dimension of velocity. So the dimension of velocity, the dimension of volumes. Let's see dimension of volume. So as you know, the dimension of volume, the expression of volume is length, breadth, and height. So the dimension, all these quantities are length, represent length. So the dimension of volume will be L cube, right? So more preciously, we should write like this: mass to the power 0, L to the power 0, mass to the power 0, L to the power cube, and t to the power 0. So this is the dimensional equation. So dimensional equation should be written like this, that in the square brackets v equals to mass to the power 0, L to the power cube, and t to the power 0, and this should be within third brackets. So this is the dimension. So let's see some example. Let's calculate some dimensions of some physical quantities, important physical quantities. Okay, so can you tell me what is the dimension of area? Can you tell me that what is the dimension of the area? So the area, we know that, see, if you want to calculate the dimensions of any physical quantities, you have to know about the expression of that physical quantities. So here you can see that the area means length into breadth. So both represents length, so you can say that that is L square, right? So so we should write like this: m to the power 0, L to the power square, and t to the power 0. This is the dimension of area. And what is the dimension of volume? In previous I have done this in previous. So as you can see, the dimension of volume is m0 t to the power L to the power 3 and t to the power 0. Let's see what is the dimension of velocity. Velocity also we have calculated. So let's see what is the dimension of acceleration. So acceleration means change in velocity, right? And with upon time. So change in velocity, what is the dimension of velocity? That is L t to the power minus 1 and by t, so L t to the power minus 2. This is the dimension of acceleration, right? So more preciously we could write like this, that in the third brackets, m to the power 0, L to the power 1, t to the power minus 2. So this is the dimension of acceleration. So let's see another example. What is the dimension of density? So you have to know the expression first. What is the expression of density? So density means mass per unit volume, right? This expression you should know, mass per unit volume. So the dimension of mass is m and the dimension of volume is L cube. So it comes m L to the power minus 3. And here there is no term of time, but we should write with time. So m to the power 1, L to the power 3 and L to the power minus 3, and t to the power 0. This is the dimension of density. Let's see another example, more advanced. What is the dimension of force? What is the dimension of force? So you have to know the expression that force equals to, from the Newton's law, Newton's second law, mass into acceleration. What is the dimension of mass? M. What is the dimension of acceleration? We have done this before, that the dimension of the acceleration is L to the power minus 2, right? You can calculate the dimension with the units also. What is the unit of acceleration? Acceleration unit is meter per second square. So see here that meter represents the length and second represents the time. So length per unit per time square. So this is the, so what will be the force? m1 L1 t to the power minus 2. This is the dimension of force. This is the dimension of force. It is very important dimensional equation for your numerical calculation. This is very important to calculate any dimension, any important physical quantities, any important dimension of any physical quantities. It is necessary. I should say that it is very important. So you have to memorize this dimension, that m L t to the power minus 2. You can say that m L t to the power minus 2. So let's see what is the dimension of work done. What is the dimension of work done? So work done means force into distance, right? See, we have to know the dimension of force. So what is the dimension of force? What is the dimension of force? M L to the power minus 2, right? So you have to write m L to the power minus 2, and here the distance means L. So what is the dimension of work done? That is m L square t to the power minus 2. This is the dimension of work done. What is the dimension of pressure? What is the dimension of pressure? Let's see what is the dimension of pressure. So pressure means force per unit area, right? So what is the dimension of force? Force is m l t to the power minus 2 and by upon that is l square. So it comes m l inverse t to the power minus 2, but we should write within brackets. We should write within brackets. So this is the dimension of pressure. Let's see another example. What is the dimension of current? Can you say that? What is the dimension of current? We have discussed that the dimension of current is A, right? So the dimension of current is A. So from that, can you say that what is the dimension of charge? Charge is written as Q, small q. What is the dimension of charge? So Q means current into time, because current is basically charge per unit time. So Q means current into time. So what is the value comes? What is the dimension comes from this equation? That is, the dimension of current is A and the dimension of current is T, capital D, right? So the dimension should be written like this: m0 l0 t to the power 1 a to the power 1, right? So this should be the dimension of charge. Let's see what is the dimension of electric potential. Let's see what is the dimension of electric potential. So electric potential is written as V, right? So V means work done per unit charge. Work done per unit charge. So what should be the unit of work we have calculated before? That, let's see what is the work. Yes, here you can see this is the dimension of work done, right? So from this we can calculate that what is the dimension of potential. So the dimension of work done is m l square t to the power minus 2, isn't it? The dimension of work done is m l square t to the power minus 2. And what is the dimension of charge? We have calculated this before also. So the dimension of charge, as you can see, that the dimension of charge is a t. You can write a t because current into time. So by this way you can calculate the dimension, that is which comes like m to the power 1 l to the power 2 t to the power minus 3, m to the power 1 l to the power 2 t to the power minus 3 and a to the power minus 1. So this is the dimension of electric potential and we should write within square brackets. So can you calculate the dimension of resistance? Definitely you can calculate. By which formula you have to use? Do you know that which formula you have to use to calculate the resistance? Yes, you are right. You have to use the Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So R equals to V by I. By this equation you can calculate the dimension of that resistance. So what is the dimension of that is potential? The dimension of potential is, you can see, m l square t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 1 and the dimension of I is a. So it comes m l square t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 2. This is the dimension of a to the power minus 2, sorry, a to the power minus 2. So this is the dimension of resistance. So you can calculate the dimension of, let's see how we can calculate the dimension of resistivity. Resistivity means, you know that resistance means rho into L by A, right? So by this equation you can calculate the resistivity. Here rho is the resistivity, so rho is RA by L. So the dimension of R is this one, right? M L square t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 2. So let's see, m L square t to the power minus 3 and a to the power minus 2, right? And here you can see that this is a means L square, and in the denominator you could say that this is L, so L means L. So what is the value comes from this equation? what does the value comes? The value will be m l cube, right? L cube, L square is here and here is L square and L, so L cancel one L, so it is L cube t to the power minus 3 a to the power minus 2. This will be the value of the dimension of resistivity. Can you calculate the dimension of conductivity from this equation? Can you calculate the dimension of conductivity from this equation? Yes, you can definitely calculate it, because the equation of conductivity it is represented as sigma. So sigma means 1 by rho. So only the sign will changes. So what will be the value? The value will be, here m is 1, right? So here m is minus 1. Here L is 3, so here L will be minus 3. Here T is minus 3, so T will be plus 3, and A will be, what should be the power of A? A should be 2. So this is the dimension of conductivity. By this way, we can calculate any type of dimensions. Okay, any type of dimensions of any physical quantities. But I must say that we have to know the expressions or equations or units to know about the dimensions. If you don't know the units or the expressions of any physical quantities, you could not calculate about the dimensions. So previously I have discussed some physical quantities which has units, but they does not have any dimension. So those are called supplementary quantities. So one of them is plane angle, right? Plane angle. So as you know, if there is a two line, so if the angle between the line is theta and the arc is s and the radius is r, so we can calculate the angle by this way, the arc by radius, and we know that the unit of theta is radian, right? Radian. So let's see what will be the dimension of theta. See, s by r, s is means length, so L, and r means L. So L cancel out. So what will be the dimension? It is dimensionless quantity. So we should write like this way, that is m0, L0 and T0. So this is a dimensionless quantity. This represents, it is a dimensionless quantity, but it has unit. So this type of physical quantities are called dimensionless physical quantities or supplementary quantities. Okay. Let's see what is the importance of dimensions. What is the importance of dimensions? Dimension, you could say that we have units. So why should we use the dimensions? So dimension is very important when we check any equations. If any scientist give any equations randomly, so by this dimension theory, we can calculate actually check the equations. If the equation is dimensionally correct, then we can say that the equation may be correct. But if the equation does not correct dimensionally, then we should say that this equation will be wrong. So this is the importance of dimensions. So, and let's see what is the dimension homogeneity of dimension. The dimension, the theory, the principle said that the magnitudes of any physical quantities, will be can be added or subtracted by a physical the magnitude of any physical quantity if both of them are dimensionally same. That means both of them have same dimension. Okay, two physical quantities or three physical quantities or more can be added or can be subtracted if they are same dimension, they are from same dimensions. Okay, so let's see an example. Suppose velocity and area. So what is the dimension of velocity? That is L t to the power minus 1 or m to the power 0, L to the power 1, t to the power minus 1. And what is the dimension of area? Area is L square. So there is nothing same between them, right? Both are different. So we cannot add or subtract velocity with area. There is no relation between velocity and area. We cannot add or subtract velocity with area. Similarly, we cannot add force and acceleration because the dimension of force is different from the dimension of acceleration. The dimension of force is m l t to the power minus 2, and area the dimension of area is only l t to the power minus 2. So both are different. In this case, in this area, there is no dimension of mass, right? So we cannot add or subtract the value of force with the value of acceleration. Understood? Let's see an example. Suppose a scientist give us an expression that is x equals to x plus x0 plus this is x0 plus vt plus at square, and we have to check that if the expression is dimensionally correct or not. So see, it is x represents here is distance. So what will be the dimension? The dimension will be l. Here the dimension will be l, right? Because both are representing distance. Here it is v and t. What is the dimension of v? That means velocity. Velocity is l to the power minus t, l t to the power minus 1. And what will be the dimension of t? T is t. So what the value comes? T cancel out. So it is l, right? So here the value comes l. And here also the dimension of a is l to the power minus 2, and here t square. So t to the power minus 2, t square cancel out. So it comes l. So here all the quantities have same dimension. That means these elements and these elements have same dimension. So we can add or subtract this one. So this equation is dimensionally correct. If any quantities are different, suppose this is LT, so this equation should be wrong. So it says that if any equation fails this consistency test, so it is proof that the equation is wrong. Okay, but if the equation is passes, that does not mean that the equation should be correct, but it may be correct or may not be. But if it fail to prove the consistency of the dimensions, so it is definitely wrong. We can say that it is definitely wrong. So there are another use of a dimension, that is we can use the dimension to know about some expression with the help of dimension. Let's see. In previous we have calculated that the dimension from the expressions. Now we are going to calculate the expressions. We are trying to calculate the expressions from the dimension. So let's see an example. Suppose you have a pendulum having a bob attached to the string, and it oscillates under action of gravity. Okay, and we have to calculate the expression of time period. The expression of time period. It is said that the time period is related with mass of the bob, the length of the string, and the acceleration due to gravity. So let's see how can we write this. We can write this like this: t equals to k. K is a dimensionless constant. Okay, k is a constant. So it is related with m. So there should be any power of like this, right? There should be any power. So we consider that is the power of m is x. It may be x. It may be 1. It may be 0. It may be 2. Like this. So L, depends on L also. So we write the power y of L and g the power of z. So let's see what we can write dimensionally. So the power or the dimension of t is time period is t. This is dimensionless, so we cannot write. We should not write the dimension of this. So the dimension of m is mass is m, and the power is x, right? And the length is L, power is y, and g is Lt to the power minus 2, because this is acceleration, and the power is z, right? Let's calculate this one. It comes m to the power x, right? In the right hand side there is only one term which is related with m. There is only 2L. So calculate the L, we get one is L power y plus z, right? And what is the power of t? T is minus 2z. And here you can see on the left hand side m is 0, right? Only t. L is also 0 and t is 1. So you can compare the dimension of mass with, from the left hand to the right hand, the dimension of length, and the dimension of time. So you get what you get? You get x equals to 0 and y plus z, right? Y plus z equals to also 0, right? And minus 2z is equals to 1, isn't it? Minus 2z is equals to 1. So from this you get that z equals to minus of half. So from this equation you get y equals to plus half, because y equals to minus z, so z is minus half, so y will be plus half, and we know that x equals to 0. If we put these values into the equation number 1, we get what we get? What do we get? We get that time equals to k m to the power x. Now m to the power x is 0, so m to the power 0, so there will be no term with related to m. L to the power y, so L to the power half, right? Y is half, and g to the power minus half, right? So what will be the equation comes? Let's see what will be the equation. T equals to k root over L by g, right? Here k is 2 pi. See, this is the expression of time period of a pendulum. So by this way you can calculate any type of any expressions using comparing with the dimensions of both the sides, that means from the left hand side and from the right hand side. So these are the very important usage of dimensions. So hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching this video, and if anything I miss, so I will discuss this in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.